Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 25 of Europa Universalis IV as England, now Great Britain. We are currently in the middle of a disaster. We've got the religious turmoil disaster, so we're going through to try and convert as many provinces to our religion as possible, because we did switch over to Protestant, which is now the state religion. The negative event did actually fire, so we do actually have the disaster running, which is here. We've got the religious turmoil, so we need to get our religious unity up to 90%, and of course it's causing us some problems because we are getting a lot of potential separatists trying to pop in various different places. I bet we don't have open borders with Scotland, do we? No. Could we get military access from them? I bet we probably couldn't. They would give us military access, actually. Let's just bring you back. Again, that will put us slightly over our diplomatic relations, but they've allowed us through. But this means that we can move over here because this is where the next rebellion is going to pop. We've got a call to arms from Portugal against Morocco and the Mamluks. I'm going to accept to keep my relations with Portugal, but I'm not going to get involved in it. There's a little to no point. I don't think I need to be worried about anything. I've got no troops down there, really. Ashton has entered into a military coalition against us, which is fine. I mean, we're not actually fighting. We're just waiting for these rebel uprisings to pop. So I expect to get a fair few over here in Ireland. We are still making some money. Looks like Siena's having a little bit of problem with some loyalists down there. Or pretender rebels. Good for them. Lots of stuff going on in the sort of Milanese area. That's fine. We'll allow them to carry on beating the snot out of each other. I'm actually over my diplomatic relations by 2 now because we have this... we managed to do another conversion. Fine. Yeah, we've got this sort of the military access from Scotland, which is costing us a relation, but I'm still waiting for this... these to pop, and they will pop soon. There we go. There's one of them. Now, Gascogne, you guys are down there, and you're going to manage that pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and give you our leader. And you're going to go down there and try and deal with those. Now, you'll probably get a river crossing. They don't have a leader. Not sure France are going to come down here and help either. Now, unfortunately, we won't quite get there in time to stop the siege progress, I don't think. They've nearly done it. Literally a couple of days out, so... But we should win that fight, even though we do have a crossing penalty. We've got a crossing penalty, but we've got a leader, which makes up for the crossing penalty, really. We've got a wider combat width than they have, so... We'll take some losses there, but that's fine. Truce with Burgundy has ended. They very well make coalitioners. Also, Spain were coming in to help. Obviously, Spain are also allied with Portugal, so they would have been called into this war. So Spain are actually our ally at the moment. So that's quite funny. We've managed to recapture that, so let's take you back to Co. You should be fine. And we will have a few more of these popping soon. The Navarran separatists, in fact, if Navarran separatists is a thing, we'll actually keep you down there in Navarra, I think. Let them spawn on top of you and give them the defensive penalty, the attacker's penalty. Once again, just keeping our eye on France's liberty desire. It's not terrible at the moment. Got a free diplomat. What do I want to do with you? Probably carry on sucking up to France, actually. Get our improved relations up with them as much as possible. I would like to try and integrate them, because then I don't have to worry about them breaking free. Managed to convert London, so let's go ahead and do the next place. And that now puts us our religious unity on 54%. We're getting there. It's taken some time. So we've still got a fair bit of provincial unrest. Why do we have all this provincial unrest? Let's have a look. What is causing it specifically? So if we look at Connaught, for example, the unrest is caused by, yeah, the intolerance. So the lack of religious unity, and obviously there's an active missionary there as well, but it's the intolerance that's giving us the bigger problem right now. So that's fine. We don't mind that too much. We'll bring that diplomat back from Milan. You can't do an awful lot. We do still need to try and take Scotland, of course. So as I think I got partway through saying in a previous video, but never really finished my train of thought, was that I want to obviously grab what's remaining of Scotland, because it's obviously de jure Great Britain. And I would like to try and grab all of the French region at some point, but I don't really want to do much stuff in the HRE because I've done all that in my previous campaign. We will grab some of the stuff on the coast of Holland because it's got quite a few nice trade provinces there. They've got important centres of trade and coastal centres of trade and estuaries and stuff. We do have to be careful though, because it is part of the HRE, most of it, so that will give us a fair bit of aggressive expansion. But what I'd like to be able to do is sort of move down, colonise some stuff in the Africas maybe even find a way over into India. So at some point we are going to have to pick up exploration ideas so we can get some colonial range and actually start getting out and having a bit of a look and see where we can expand to. So we've got a few more people entering into a coalition against us. We actually can't improve our relationship with France anymore at the moment. Well, we're in a war together. That's giving us plus 25. Still that neighbouring heretic religion. I guess the fact that we're in a war, if I was to get them to force change their religion right now, it would give them more liberty desire, but they probably can't fight against me while they're currently in a war with me, which could be an interesting way of doing things. What are we on again? 145. I mean, I can't bring them in when we're at war anyway. The aggressive expansion will go down. That's the biggest problem we've got at the moment. I'm in no rush to do it. We will leave it for a little while. Slowly building our manpower back up. Still haven't managed to break off this royal marriage with Brittany because neither of us have lost a leader. We've managed to convert some more heretics, so that's put us up to 56% religious unity. Still a few provinces to go. We need to get up to 90% to make the disaster go away. What about these rebel uprisings? I thought some of these were going to pop. 1.1 years for Navarra. Obviously, we're probably slowing that down a little bit by actually having men standing in there. Leinster might pop soon as well. There's quite a few that are ready to go. Lose some money for prestige. Yes, always, because we've got money and prestige is hard to come by. What have we got here? We have Leinster Separatists, which is exactly what we were expecting, which is why we have guys over here. So, you are going to get the leader, which is the... I know there are a few bits and pieces in this game that do seem quite gamey, and the one thing that's really gamey is the fact that you can literally teleport your leaders around. It's like... You can't assign a leader if you're in hostile territory, but there's absolutely no problem whatsoever with teleporting a leader from one side of the planet to the other. Which is really weird when you consider that even telling a diplomat to come home takes a certain amount of time. I find the whole notion of it actually very, very strange. Let's go ahead and continue to suck up to Austria. Austria are in a regency council, but our improved relations are starting to wane with them, so we will carry on with that. I'm not going to cancel my access with Scotland at the moment because there's still Munster and Connaught separatists here, although it might still be quite some time before they pop. So we will have to keep our eye on things. It'll be a lot better once we get through this disaster. Shouldn't be too much longer. Now, can we actually integrate them yet? Can't do it while they're at war, so that's fine, and we need 190 relations. We could probably get the 190 relations, but bear in mind we would actually lose... oh, funnily enough, our heir is actually... or, sorry, their heir is actually the same dynasty. So, if they're... Is it actually us as the leader? I can never remember how it works with these personal unions. On monarch death, the personal union continues. Chance of Great Britain inheriting France, minus 19%. Because of the size of the country. But, you know, it might happen. We've got another one, so let's go and do that. That puts us on 59%. Still love how Burgundy have decided to keep Nevers as their capital, even though it's completely surrounded by French land right here. Munster has entered into a coalition against us, which is the Munster over here. What's left of them? Where are they? This one. No, they've actually lost a province. One of these provinces was there. So we're getting a few truces end, but... I don't think the coalition is going to fire. They haven't pulled the trigger yet. There's a few more people joining, but there's also a few people leaving. Cologne are one of the big ones, which is pretty nasty. Some of this aggressive expansion is taking a little bit of time to go away. We'll recall the diplomat there. Navarran separatists in Labor, that's fantastic. Not actually rising up in the province that I was in. That's one of the things now that this game does that really amuses me. It's like, it used to be that you could predict where the rebels were going to pop. Now they just tend to pop wherever you don't have an army, because it makes it more difficult for you to get the drop on them. It's a little bit unfortunate here that we've actually got a... Oh, I didn't assign the leader first. That's why that went wrong. That was my own stupid fault right there. I should have assigned a leader. I forgot to do so. But that's fine. We went ahead and won that battle. So who's going to be next? Probably the Flemish separatists. So fully expecting that to pop next. So let's go ahead and grab these guys. And we will move them up here to Calais. Yeah, we'll just allow things to go. Oh, brilliant. The Parliament Act has passed, so we get an extra base tax in Cumbria. And reduced build cost, which is nice. We're not making nearly as much money as we used to be. We are spending a fair little bit on army maintenance. We've converted Leinster. Let's go ahead and grab the next province. Are we over our limits? No, we could get a lot more ships, which we probably should. And in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab us some lights. And we can then go and... we'll do 5 at a time. We can continue to increase our trade power. Invest in a new technology. Military tech. Yes, please. We definitely want to go ahead and grab that. Gives us some new unit types. So, what does it say? What are the superior unit types? Cavalry and artillery. So we want the better cavalry and we want the better artillery. We'll go for the one that has the better morale, I think. So we'll lose a little bit of our morale there just while we switch the troops over to the better type. And we have another revolt. And that revolt is where exactly... Am I missing it? Oh, it's over here, of course, because it's in our vassals' territory. So let's go ahead and do that. We don't quite have full... Well, another one coming up down here. Well, we'll jump in here. Actually, looks like they're fighting the Burgundians. That was handy. Gain 25 church power, or relation with all Catholic countries is decreased by 35, and relation with all Protestant countries is increased by 35. Now that would be nice, but obviously I don't want my relations with France to decay even more. So we're just going to gain the church power for now. Looks like we might actually lose this battle up here. We do have a river crossing penalty. They seem to have a slightly better leader. A couple of good rolls would help. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to lose a lot of money or gain a lot of unrest? Let's go ahead and lose the money. It will put us in a minus, but hopefully we can recover from that. If we have to take out one loan, it won't be the end of the world. So let's go and move you guys back to Artois. Slowly we are dealing with these rebel uprisings. The list doesn't scroll anymore, so that's a start. Yeah, we have taken out a loan, but that's not too bad. We expected that to happen. How are things going with France? 30% liberty. The liberty desire is going down. Their opinion of us and our diplomatic reputation. Yeah, we might be able to get them to flip their religion at some point. It will put them up to 60% liberty desire, which would be dangerously high. And I would prefer the disaster to be over if possible. I wonder if it goes away, the liberty desire. I mean, that as it says here, if we force them, enforce religion. Enforcing their religion changes their liberty desire by 50%, but for how long? That's what I want to know. I mean, we can't annex them while we're at war anyway. So there's well, we're not actually. Yeah, we are still at war. We're still in this war down here with Tangiers. So we need to at least wait for that to finish. It's a little bit pointless trying to do anything until it does. And now we've got a rebel pop in Cornwall. So we'll go and walk around there. You need the leader, of course. We'll go and do that now because you'll move a little bit more quickly. Now, obviously, they will manage to flip Cornwall over because it doesn't have a fort. We've managed to convert another province. That's put us up to 64% religious unity, so we are getting there. Really, really disappointing that we didn't get the Centre of Reformation. It's my own fault, really. I really should have made sure that I didn't pick up the opposing the Lollards, because that puts up the tolerance of the true faith. If we'd have actually not opposed the Lollards, it would have made life a little bit easier. Cornish separatists have taken control of Cornwall, so we get 10 years of separatism in Cornwall, which is a giant pain in the arse, but anyone who lives in Great Britain will know that Cornwall still suffers from separatism anyway. The Cornish people very much, you know, even though Cornwall is just a county in Great Britain and it's pretty much decided that, you know, it's all part of one thing, but the Cornish people very much have their own cultural identity and often consider Cornwall to be a separate entity, even though it's governed by British law. Good on them, you know. Been to Cornwall a few times, one of my favourite holiday destinations. Absolutely love the place. Hopefully get to go back there again this year. But that's them defeated. We'll re-siege it back. It's not going to make much of a difference now, but obviously the longer it's sieged out, the less time we're getting tax from it and stuff like that. And what's the next one going to be? Well, Cornish separatists we're already working on. Flemish separatists will be the next. We're working our way down the list. It's doing well. Burgundian, Picardian, Meathian. Meath might still pop. 2.4 years. So I think for the time being I will actually keep that the open borders with Scotland. Now then, we could go and grab our next trade idea. What are we like in terms... Yeah, we're going to fall behind again, and I don't want to get behind in Diplotech, so I'm actually just going to save up for the tech. Because getting behind in tech means that France doesn't like us quite so much. That aggressive expansion is burning off. Why is it saying relative power to liege? What's that got to do with their opinion of us? Oh, we are their liege. I was thinking Liège as in the nation, not liege as in their leader. So that's fine. Okay, we're pieced out. We're no longer in that war, which means we could potentially go ahead and try and flip this now. Oh, lots of stuff firing off here. So, Papal State no longer a valid rival. 11 religious regiments in Co, or lose some money. Well, we have the money. What have we got here? Lose a stability and some money. Or lose some trade efficiency and some tax modifier for 10 years. Do I really want to lose the stability? We'll lose the trade power. We're not doing too bad on money at the moment. Now, do we want to spend the money or do we want the religious regiments in Co? So only 11 religious regiments. I do have an army up here. So let's go ahead and assign the leader. We can actually go ahead and put them in Co. Now, we'll probably find that this event will change if I put them in here. No, it still says they'll rise up in Co. So we have the defensive bonus here. Or at least we should do. No crossing anyway. Royal marriage with Portugal has ended. Spain's fabricating some claims against us. Hardly surprising. So we've won that battle. Let's go ahead and get that royal marriage going again with Portugal. Now, I wanted to have a look at France and see how we were doing with those. So it's only 117. Our improved relations is fantastic. But the aggressive expansion and the neighbouring heretic religion is really, really hurting us. So we probably need to wait a little bit. It would be nice to get them to change their religion. But this liberty desire isn't going to help. And I don't really want to have to fight with them while we're in the middle of a disaster. So we've got these light ships. I'm just going to go ahead and put them all in London. So we'll get a little bit more trade power here. So let's group them up and you're going to go ahead and protect trade in the English Channel. So how much trade power do we actually have in the English Channel now? 73%. That's not bad. Well, 75 now with those extra ships. So that's all doing well. And what have we got down here? Another light? Did I miscount? Maybe I did. So you can go and protect trade in the English Channel. Let's go ahead and build another 4 lights then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Managed to convert another province, so let's carry that on. Wow, why all of a sudden are we having this massive drop here? Did we lose an event or something? All of a sudden our missionaries have gone from taking 5 months to taking 14 months. Non-accepted cultures, maybe that... No, because these were 5 and 6 before. So our missionary strength is obviously dropped because of something. Not too sure what that was. What about advisors? How are things going here? Oh, hang on. Calais has popped. We've still got a leader over here. We're going to move into Artois first because we won't get a river crossing penalty from Artois into Calais. So we'll move there first and then we'll move in here. Now, they don't even have a leader, so we should win that one quite easily. And indeed we do. Let's just go ahead and unassign Richard. Can't remember what I was going to check. Oh yeah, I was going to have a little look and see what was affecting our religious unity and see if we can do anything with advisors. I think I really want to keep that Diplo Ret guy, although it's tempting to get the better relations over time guy. We do have the missionary strength guy here, that's fine. We can now go ahead and grab our Diplo tech. We're going to do that. We also need to get our admin tech and our military tech. These things are actually going to affect our relationship now with France a little bit in terms of their liberty desire. Doesn't seem to have here. It might tick at the end of the month, though. Although, actually, it's our tech compared to theirs. So our tech is currently at 10, 11, 10. And theirs is at 9, 10, 10. So we're actually ahead of them in admin tech. We are the same in military tech. And we're ahead of them in Diplo tech. So we are actually ahead of them. So that's fine. I'm still very, very tempted to try and force them to flip their religion. A subject nation that has a greater army than its overlord will feel more inclined towards rebellion. And that is something that I really, really don't want to happen. What I could do is just try and build up a massive army and go over my force limit. That would potentially work, but at the same time it's also potentially risky. Let's get another infantry unit over here. We definitely want to make sure that we do keep at our force cap. We're still reinforcing. We haven't been at our manpower cap for quite some time. It'd be nice to get back up there. But we may at some point just have to decide it's time to annex France and just build up a massive army, force them to change their religion, throw some money at them, just do everything we can to get a temporary boost in our relationship, just so that we can go and start the annexation progress. I've currently got a colonist that I'm not using as well. We're going to need to do that, but we probably need to pick up another Diplo idea group. So it's going to be a little while before we can go out and do any colonisation. We also need to deal with Scotland. I wonder if they would actually accept vassalisation. Oh, no, we've got another rebel pop there. Must have a military alliance, must have a relationship of 190. The target must be at peace. Yeah, but because we own their core provinces, it gives them 1,000 negative modifiers, so we could never vassalise them. We have another rebellion pop, which is over here. So let's go ahead and deal with that. We're going to get the river crossing whichever way we go. Show province. Artois and Calais both have a river crossing. They don't have a leader, though. Oh, we don't have a leader either. Good job I spotted that. So we have a leader, they don't, which means we won't get the river crossing penalty. Milan's left the coalition. Fantastic. Papal State has now announced me as a rival. Need to check my rivals, actually. Said they were no longer a valid rival for me earlier, so we'll have another look at that. So there's another battle won. Let's unassign our leader again. The reason I do that is because when my leader is a... if your ruler dies while leading troops, you get a 2 stability hit. Whereas you only get a 1 stability hit if he dies normally, even if he's not actually fighting in combat. So generally, whenever he's not actually leading the troops, if he dies, we won't get the penalty, which is why I tend to unassign him when I'm not using him. Something else that I was going to do, and I've just distracted myself from it, I can't remember what it is now. No, it's completely gone. Still have too many diplomatic relations. How's the rebel uprising going? Methian is still likely to pop. So we do have to wait for that 1.2 years. Then we can cancel this military access with Scotland and recover a diplo point. In fact, let's go ahead and start moving you guys up back to Ulster so that you're next to Meath, ready for that to pop. Investing in a new idea would be expansion ideas. We could do that and get global settler increase, but again, we're not really concentrating on that right now. After that, recruitment time is nice, but I think we are behind on the tech, and it would be nice to grab it just to be ahead of time and get the production efficiency bonus. So we will be waiting for that one. We've got these ships that are about to be finished, so we can group them all up and send them off. Again, we're not using any of our diplomats right now, or our colonists. So there's 2 of our ships. There's 3 of our ships. Let's put you in London. Let's put you in London too. We've only got 4 coming because we were 1 over anyway for some strange reason. I don't know. Maybe we captured 1 in battle, or maybe I just can't math. One of those 2 options is likely. So group you up. Go and protect trade in the English Channel. And we have another revolt, which is down here in Meath, right where we expected. So, go and assign our leader. Is there any way we can get into Meath without a river crossing? Leinster, Connaught and Ulster. So, we could get in there from Leinster. No river crossing between... Oh, there is a river crossing between Leinster and Meath. Yeah, it only has 3 adjacent provinces, doesn't it? So, we might as well just go and dogpile straight on them. I misread. I thought there was a 4th province there and there wasn't. So we do get a river crossing, which is really strange considering they don't have a leader and my leader has 2 maneuver. Oh no, it's not river crossing, it's terrain. It's just me being blind. So that's another one dealt with. So let's get you guys back over to the English mainland. And that just leaves us with Burgundian separatists, and then we've dealt with all the rebellions for now. Not quite at the 90% religious unity yet. We are getting there. We're at 71. Got 88 church power now. We've managed to convert Le Bourg, so let's just go ahead and convert the next one, which will be Meath. So we can't actually pick one of these yet, because you need 100 church power to do it, but haven't decided which one I'm going to take yet. There's quite a lot of nice bits and pieces in there. Some are better than others. You can only have up to 3, but we'll see how that goes. So as soon as those guys are out of Scotland, we're going to go in here, diplomacy. We are going to cancel our military access. And that will put our relationships down by 1. We still have that royal marriage and the alliance with Brittany. I might as well keep the alliance with them while we've got the royal marriage, because we can't declare war on them. But the moment that we don't actually have a royal marriage with them, I'll just scrap the alliance. They are also allied with Brabant, so I do have the possibility that I could go and break the alliance with Brittany. Well, I wouldn't even need to, but I could declare war on Brabant, and then Brittany would not get involved on my side. They'd get involved on Brabant's side, and then I could go and take Brittany that way. That might be an idea for later, but we definitely need to get out of this annoying disaster before we do that. But we are well over the 20-minute mark, so that's a great point to end the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I've also noticed on this episode we've now gone up from 2nd place to 1st place, so we're now in top place for score. I figured we'd get there sooner or later. But I will see you guys on the next time. Until then, goodbye for now.